Okay, let us go to our story. We shall have at least a reader who would like to read for us the story. We could at least read it twice as we wait for others to join. By show of hands, you can put up your hand and then you read for us. By show of hands, anyone wants to read for us? Is up. Nina, Diana, Johan is up. You could read for us the first time, then we shall pick another person to read for us. Oh, let me share the story. Just a minute. Are you seeing the story?
Yes.
Okay. Do us justice. You read for us that story.
Okay. Read the following passage and answer the questions that follow. Papa Solomon K.A. is submitted to related sickness recently. The barrier took place in Ngora, his home district. One night recently, I had a peaceful sleep, and I felt myself breathe. Help me that word. In the question, in the cuteness of my bed,
I had a fitful sleep and I in the Could you compose yourself once again and start afresh?
Okay.
All right, it's okay to try again.
Read the following passage and answer the questions that follow. Papa Solomon K.A. Endumed
Engemu.
one.
He's called Engemu.
Okay. Engemu
Succumbed
to heart related sickness recently. The burial took place in Ngora, his home district. One night recently, I had a peaceful sleep, and I felt myself breath. Help me that word.
I told you the word is grieving.
Grieving. In the cuteness of my
yes.
bed. In the cuteness of my bed, I was coughing. The works of the King David in the Bible.
I was echoing the works of King David in the. Are you okay?
Yes.
Are you sure then you're fine?
Yes.
You okay? You continue. You're not seeing words. You're actually seeing words in your head, not the ones on paper. So try to see what is on paper.
How the mighty have fallen. In this own circle of influence, my dad was indicated. Was indeed mighty. Papa was a disciplinary a disciplinary view of the old African tradition. In the succumb, the sovereignty of the act of God.
Then I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you short.
Yes.
Let us have someone read again. I'll bring you back on board. Is that okay? Okay, anyone else who can help us read? Joyce Williams, your hand is up. Joyce Williams, are you there? Kasimwe, are you there? Kasimwe, are you there?
Yes.
Kasimwe, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, now you're going to read for
Yes,
us.
I'm there.
Okay, you're going to read for us.
I'm not seeing the story.
It's okay, just a minute. There you go.
Read the passage and answer
Your network, could you
the
look for
questions that follow. I come to calculate it. What?
your network? Could you please look for good network area?
Hear me now.
Yes, I can hear you.
Papa Solomon K.A. Engimu succumbed to heart-related sickness recently. The burial took place in Ngora, his home district. One night recently, I had a fitful sleep, and I found myself grieving. In the quietness of my bed, I was echoing the works of King David in the Bible. How the mighty have fallen. In his own circle of influence, my dad was indeed mighty. Papa was a disciplinary of the old African tradition. In the sovereign act of God, this no-nonsense attitude helped us as children to avoid the path of rebellion early in life, and then later to embrace Christ and his path of righteousness. Papa was a man of adventure early in life. He was a lay reader in the Anglican Church. He later moved into the medical sector and crisscrossed the land with his family, serving in various health centers. Much later in life, Papa joined the local government, serving at different times as a sub-county and county chief. He later joined elective politics, serving at local council levels. He died a die-hard NRM party man. Papa made several bicycle rides from Ngora district to Kampala in a bid to meet and discuss issues with President Yoweri Museveni. One time, the New Vision carried an article about Papa's riding spirits While some of his grandchildren were rather charmed by the whole episode, we, his children, were rather chagrined by it, being more concerned about his health and safety. Papa's other adventure was his advocacy for the preservation of good cultural practices, with a particular focus on the entertainment sector, where he was known as Papa Ajusi, the father of the Ajusi dance. Part of Papa's greatness was in his admission of some of his fault to us, his children. He, he regretted having pursued a polygamous lifestyle, saying, "As for me, I found myself pursuing the tradition of my fathers, but I would not wish any of my children to pursue that tradition of my fathers. Thankfully, Christ has come into our large family, and in him all things hold together. Before my mom died, Papa took the trouble to travel to where she was living, and he was able to seek forgiveness and reconciliation. Totoloits came back to Papa after 30 years of separation. He died a liberated woman of God, free of bitterness, having forgiven Papa. About a month ago, by a sovereign act of God, Papa suddenly came to Kampala. He called his children together and had a close and happy time with them as they cared for him, fellowshiped with him, and prayed with him blessing them. Our next gathering turned out to be at his funeral. Papa will be missed as a gatherer of people. He has now been gathered to the larger and perfect family of God in paradise. The great golden king eagle dies looking into the sun. Papa Solomon Engimu, like that eagle, died looking into the Son of Righteousness, Jesus Christ. He breathed his last on that hospital bed, having amazingly written in his autobiography thus, "Today I died at 87 years. Let us follow our Savior Jesus. God is good. Papa Kidari, fare thee well."
Story is very touchy. I was about to cry. Thank you so much for reading for us. That was nice. The questions, could you read the questions before you go off? Then we pick another person.
Okay. Answer questions 1 to 5 on the question paper. What caused the death of Papa Solomon Engimu? Number 2A. What helped the writer and his siblings to avoid the path of rebellion early in life? And B. What happened prior to the death of the writer's mother? How did the grandchildren and Papa's children react to Papa's writing exploits? Did Papa's marriage life give him happiness? Give reasons for your answer. Suggest a suitable title for the words as used in the passage: succumbed, mighty, crisscrossed, chagrined.
Okay. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Welcome.
Can I have at least another person read for us? Thank you. That was a good one. Let me have Tendo Brenda. Tendo Brenda, are you there? Tendo Brenda, are you there? Okay. You boy. You boy. I don't know if that's the actual.
Yes, teacher.
You
Yes,
boy.
teacher, I'm there.
How are you boy?
I'm okay.
No. I mean, how do you come to be called you boy? Is that your name or it's just a nickname?
Just my name, teacher. It's my name.
Okay, fine. Let me have you read for us the passage, and then we
Okay.
can start approaching. You can go ahead.
Okay. Papa Solomon K.A. Engimu succumbed to heart-related sickness recently. The burial took place in Ngora, his home district. One night recently, I had a fitful sleep and I found myself grieving. In the quietness of my bed, I was echoing the works of King David in the Bible. How the mighty have fallen. In his own circle of influence, my dad was indeed mighty. Papa was a disciplinarian of the old African tradition.
Disciplinarian.
Disciplinarian of the old African tradition. In the sovereign acts of God, this no-nonsense attitude helped us as children to avoid the path of rebellion early in life, and then later to embrace Christ and his paths of righteousness. You've confused me. Have you what? You've changed, eh?
No, I've not changed. You're the one who is not seeing properly.
Eh. Okay. Papa was a man of adventure early in life. He was a lay reader in. Teacher, you stop doing those things, teacher. They confuse.
Which
Papa
one is
was
it?
a man of adventure in life. Like when you scroll, and I'm reading, these words are small, so I can't. It gets confused. It confuses. Papa was a man of adventure.
Just a minute. Rotate your phone. Rotate your phone.
Okay, fine.
Does that help?
Yes, you have rotated.
Yeah. Rotate your phone and then zoom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Papa was a man of adventure early in life. He was a lay reader in the Anglican Church. He later moved into medical sector and crisscrossed Tesoland with his family, serving in various health centers. Much later in life, Papa joined the local government, serving at different times as sub-county and county chief. He later joined elective politics, serving at local council levels. He died a die-hard NRM party man. Papa made several bicycle rides from Ngora district to Kampala in a bid to meet and discuss issues with President Yoweri Museveni. One time, the New Vision carried an article about Papa's riding exploits. While some of his grandchildren were rather charmed by the whole episode, we, his children, were rather chagrined by it, being more concerned about his health and safety. Shall you? You can. Let me see. Papa's other adventure was his advocacy for the preservation of good cultural practices with a particular focus on entertainment sector, where he was known as Papa Ajosi, the father of Ajosi dance. Part of Papa's greatness was in his admission of some of his fault to us his children. He regretted having pursued a polygamous lifestyle, saying, "As for me, I found myself pursuing the tradition of my fathers, but I would not wish any of my children to pursue that tradition of my fathers. Thankfully, Christ has come into our large family, and In him all things hold together. Before my mom died, Papa took the trouble to travel to where she was living, and he was able to seek forgiveness and reconciliation. Dr. Louis came back to Papa after over 30 years of separation. She died a liberated woman of God, free of bitterness, having forgiven Papa. About a month ago, by sovereign act of God, Papa suddenly came to Kampala. He called his children together and had a close and happy time with them. As they cared for him, fellowshiped with him and prayed with him blessing them. Our next gathering turned out to be at his funeral. Papa will be missed as a gatherer of people. He was now being gathered to the larger and perfect family of God. He was now being gathered to the larger and perfect family of God in paradise. The great golden king ego dies looking into the sun. Papa Solomon Ingimu, like that ego, died looking into the sun of righteousness, Jesus Christ. He breathed his last on the hospital bed, having amazingly written in his autobiography, thus, "Today I die at 87 years. Let us follow our Savior Jesus. God is good. Papa, Kidari, fare thee well."
Okay, Kidari is an Artisot word of fare thee well or God be with you. So that is okay. Thank you so much for sharing. That was good. Can we now get to answering our questions? I remember telling us when I was introducing passages that it is very important for you to read the passage at least twice. If you're not understanding, read again, because passages make almost 3/4 of your paper. So we must learn to read passages and interpret. So I'm going to be once in a while asking people here and there to explain what do you think is happening in this passage before even we answer these questions. What is happening in this passage? Those whose hands are up, Atino, Ashley, your hand is up. We are doing corrections for the work that is true. Which class is this and which subject? Really, how do you log into something you don't know? Okay, this is English, Senior 2. So if you're in Senior 3, you can log out. But this is Senior 2 and we are doing corrections for the work. All right, let me have people tell me what is happening in this passage. And Atino, Ashley, your hand is up. You want to tell us what is happening in this passage? If you're going to answer the question, okay, yes, I'm hearing you now, Atino.
Yes,
What is happening in this story?
they're writing about Papa Solomon's lifestyle.
They're writing about, no, just tell me what is happening in the story. What is happening in the story?
So I'm not hearing you quite well.
What is happening in this story? What things are there? Who is involved in the story? What are they talking about that person who is involved in the story?
They're talking about how he lived his early life before he died.
Okay, thank you. Any other person who can compliment? Mukama Swaibu. Mukama.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, can you tell us what is happening in this story? Very fast before we go to our questions.
I think the writer is trying to narrate the story about his father.
The story about his father.
Yes.
Okay, that is good. What does it say about his father?
He told us all the things the father used to do up to when he reached the time of death.
Why do you give me a summary? Could you tell me at least 2 things that the father does before his death? You see, you are good at summarizing. Now when the actual thing comes, you are running away. Okay, thank you. You have opened our eyes. Let us have another person who has seen Miro Vincent. Miro,
Yes, teacher.
tell us what do they say about this Engemu man?
Teacher, the passage is all about the biography of Timun's father.
Okay, summary. People like to summarize, and that's why you have issues. Oh, Irene.
The passage is about the life that Papa Solomon lived.
Papa Solomon lived before his death. How did he live? That's my interest. At least I want someone to mention that it's mentioned Papa Solomon does this, was this. I want you to mention those things instead of just telling me the things. Tell me those exact things, mention them.
Okay, teacher, he helped his children avoid a rebellious path in life because he had a non-religious attitude.
Now those are the things I want to hear. Thank you so much. That Joanita, what else does Papa do?
The passage is about Solomon. The passage is about Papa Solomon, who lived righteously. Who lived a polygamous polygamous life.
How do you tell me that the polygamous righteous life? Does that even sound right? Hey.
Papa Solomon lived a polygamous. It's about Papa Solomon who lived a polygamous life.
Okay. Part of his life, he lived as a polygamous man. Okay, so we have an idea of what this man is all about. Now let us answer our basic questions. And our first question here is, just a minute, let me get there. What caused the death of Papa Solomon Engemu? That's our first question. What causes his death? Arinda, Martina, Arinda, are you there?
Yes.
Yes.
Papa Solomon died of a heart attack.
He died of a heart attack. That is one way of phrase. Okay. Another person can phrase it in another way. Can we have another person phrase it in another way? There are people here whose names I can't. How are you called Sanyo Voluptuous? Sanyo Voluptuous? Let me hear from Sanyo Voluptuous. Is voluptuous your name or just like the English word?
It's a nickname.
Okay, voluptuous, tell us.
Is Papa Solomon Engemu succumbed to a heart disease which led to his death.
What is to succumb?
Succumb. It's
because
like to get a disease.
To succumb to a disease. Not fairly, but thank you. You just made a repetition in your answer. If we look at the first part of this passage, it has the answer just the way it is here. Even if you copied and pasted, Papa Solomon Engemu succumbed to heart-related sicknesses recently. Even if you don't put recently, succumbed to heart-related sickness, that would be an answer. So it means he died of a heart-related disease. So that's why I said it was okay for any of those two answers. Then second question, let us try to hurry. Second question, what helped the writer and his siblings to avoid the path of rebellion early in life? What helped What helped the writer and his siblings to avoid the path of rebellion early in his life? Sabir? Sabir?
Was not, sorry, I was not following. What's the question?
But now, why is your hand up if you are not following?
I put my hand since the first question. That's why.
Okay, now let me lower your hand.
Okay, lower it.
Okay. The question, Sabir, let me see here. Sabir, the question is here. Try to focus.
Okay.
The question is, what helps the writer and his siblings to avoid the path of rebellion in early in life?
Sorry, cannot do this.
Are you aware of what we are doing today?
Yeah. Yeah, actually.
Okay, let us give someone else chance. You'll catch up slowly.
All right.
Suraina, could you come in?
Sovereign acts of God help the writer and his siblings to avoid the path of rebellion early in life.
Sovereign, I feel that answer is incomplete. It is part of it, yes, but I feel it's incomplete. Anyone else who wants to supplement on that answer? Just, you can, let me take on who? Whitney. Whitney, what helped those children to avoid a rebellious life? Some people's hands are naturally up, I don't know. You boy, why are you waving at me? You tell me the answer.
Papa Solomon's no-nonsense attitude helped the writer and his siblings avoid the path of rebellion in life.
Yes, that is one answer. But even what the other girl said is right. That was the answer that I was earlier on given was also correct. But you just need to include Papa. That the first answer is the no-nonsense acts of Papa. And then the other one is that also Papa introduced them earlier to the life of Christ. Those two answers can serve. Okay, Dennis, you're trying to chat, you're saying, teacher, me. Okay, student, you, tell us your answer. Dennis.
Yes, teacher.
I thought Dennis is supposed to be a boy.
Teacher, it's Denise.
Denise.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
I think the sovereign act of God and the no-nonsense attitudes initiated to the writer and their siblings by their father helped them avoid the path of rebellion early in life.
That is the most beautiful answer. Combine those two and you will you're good to go. Thank you so much. That is the answer we needed there. Let me get to the next question. B, what happened prior to the death of the writer's mother? What happened prior to the death of the writer's mother? Denise, not Denise, can you mute? Okay, where are the boys in this class? Agaba? Agaba? Agaba is claiming he can't hear, but the rest are hearing. Maybe you can log out and log in again. You can leave and come back. It could be a network problem. Where are the boys in this class? Apart from you, boy, and Denise, sorry, Denise is a girl. Latifa is also a girl. Yes, Latifa? Some people's hands are naturally up. I'm going to lower them. Tino Ashley? Atino? Atino?
Yes, teacher. Yes.
What is the answer?
Papa Solomon took the trouble to travel to where the writer's mother was living and was able to seek forgiveness and reconciliation prior to her death.
Okay, that is one way of stating it. It's very long. We can have a shorter way. Thank you, Atino. Irene, can you come and help us here?
Papa Solomon Ngumu traveled to the writer's mother's hometown to seek forgiveness prior to her death.
Or you could simply say, prior to the death of the writer's mother, maybe they reconciled, or the writer's mother reconciled with Papa Solomon prior to her death. That is a better answer. It is short and it will help you avoid grammatical errors. So that you could state it in such a way that the writer's mother reconciled with Papa Solomon prior to her death. That's what you'd be able to tell us. Thank you so much. Let us look at the next question. I hope we are understanding. Please, if you're not understanding, do ask. Next question here I see. How did the grandchildren and Papa's children react to Papa's riding exploits? How did Papa's grandchildren and children react to his exploits, his riding exploits? And Lois, where are the boys in this class? What happened to this class? There is only you boy. Let me call out the boys' names who are just quiet. Derek Mugesha, Gerald Munobwa. Where are you? Jebbi. And Jebbi is just here quiet. Jebbi, say something. Jebbi. Or you logged in and went to cook. Jebbi. These are people who log in and disappear. MP, Mukama Swaibu, people are very quiet down here. Opio Godwin. Opio. Why are you quiet? Say something. This is your class. How can a lesson end without you saying something? At least type hello in the chat. You cannot just keep quiet. Conrad. Conrad? Okay, some have woken up, so I'll go with Joshua. Yes, at least there's a boy here. Joshua?
Yes, teacher.
Hey, what is the answer? Do you even know the question?
The grandchildren and Papa's children reacted to Papa's riding exploits through being chagrined by it.
Are you sure? Joshua, are you sure?
I'm not sure, but I'm trying to get the answer from the story.
That's the whole point. If you look at that paragraph, if begin from, he later joined elective politics, serving at local council levels. He died a die-hard NRM party man. Papa made several bicycle rides from Ngora district to Kampala in a bid to meet and discuss issues with President. One time, the New Vision carried an article about Papa's riding exploits, while some of his grandchildren were rather charmed by the whole episode. We, his children, were chagrined by it. So there are two reactions. Could you try again, Joshua? Okay, how did the grandchildren react? Begin from there.
The grandchildren reacted to Papa's riding exploits by being charmed by the whole episode.
So the grandchildren were charmed, and then his own children?
By being chagrined by it.
Okay. So those are the two. We are supposed to give two different reactions. The grandchildren were charmed by it, while his own children were chagrined by it. So those are the two answers I needed. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, let's look at the next question. Did Papa's marriage life give him happiness? Give reasons for your answer. Did Papa's marriage life give him happiness? Give reasons. Faith. Faith. Miss Ghana. Miss Ghana.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Miss Ghana, you're supposed to give me an answer.
Yeah. No, it didn't give him happiness because he was pursued by the tradition of his fathers, which he regretted it later.
Okay, that's one. He was not happy because he lived a life, more a life of his grandfathers or his fathers. Which life was that? Yes, Miss Ghana. Which? Yes,
it was
so
polygamous life.
Okay, he lived a polygamous life and therefore he regretted heavily. That is one. Thank you so much for sharing.
Okay, thank you.
Next answer. Can someone give another answer? Anne Lois.
No, Papa's marriage life did not give him happiness because he ended up separating with his wife.
He ended up separating with his wife. I felt that answer was not very satisfactory because they don't explain much about it. However, half, I could give half but I felt we needed the first answer, but someone could give another answer and then we hear. Linda Pretty. Yes, Linda.
Teacher, I have a question.
Please ask.
What if like I answer that no, he didn't live in a happy life because he lived a polygamous life?
Yes, that is now an answer you are giving, not a question. That is a correct answer.
Okay.
Kasimwe. Resty.
I have a question.
Oh, not an answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Should I ask? Teacher.
Yes.
The meaning of survey.
Hey, have we reached there yet?
No, I'm just asking. It was on number 2.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Let us reach there when we are giving the meanings of words.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let us leave that question like that. I think we have got the answer that Papa's life was not happy because he lived a polygamous life. His marriage life, not his entire life, but only his marriage life. Okay, next question. Give a suitable title. Here we can get as many answers as we can. Give a suitable title. Give a suitable title for this passage. Let me see. Suitable title. Yes, I'm seeing the charts where those answers are correct. From Rina, that's the correct answer. Kasuti Nolan, what do you think? Give us a suitable title. We can type these titles also on our chat and we see.
I think the suitable title may be the life of Papa Solomon Ejim.
Okay, the life of Papa Solomon Echiru, that is one correct. Denise.
Yes, teacher.
Answer.
Let me
So it is Papa's life. That's what I think.
Papa's life.
Yes.
It would be safer to include the title, but I mean, it's okay to include that, but I thought maybe the name would also make it more meaningful. For example, Papa Solomon Engemo's life. Or the life of Papa Solomon Engemo. Okay, that is good. You could even have another title as the passing away of a hero. That could also be a title. Itel, what is your name?
Name as me. Antera.
Who is talking to Antira? Please, can you mute? Itel, what's your name? Itel, what's your name? Itel, what's your name? I want to rename you. Okay. Put yourself in order. I'll get back to you. You boy says Papa Solomon's life story. Okay, all those are correct answers. However, the answer should be close. JB finally is awake. JB say something. I wanted to leave that question, but you've come in.
My answer is Papa Solomon's life.
Papa Solomon's life.
Yeah.
Okay, that is okay. But you're oversleeping. Don't go away from the phone. Let us attend to these classes. I was calling you and you're not there.
No, okay, silence.
Whatever you were doing, stop it and focus. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tendo, Brenda.
The suitable title can be The Grandchildren.
The grandchildren. But now this story is not about grandchildren. How can the title grandchildren be suitable?
It's part of the passage.
You don't pick one element to decide you look at the general content. What is it on? For example, you cannot have girls being raped, then for you to choose to ignore that. That is now the main topic. So here, the main topic here is the life of this old man. So I would think grandchildren are the least of our worries here. Okay. Let us go to the next question very fast. What is the meaning of the following words as used in the passage? Succumbed. Succumbed. Meanings of words. What is to succumb? You boy. What is to succumb? Sanyo. Sanyo.
What are you saying?
Teacher, I think succumb means to receive something unknowingly.
To receive something unknowingly?
Like something that happens to you, like overpowering you, like something like that.
I want exactly what it is, not something like that. Thank you for the try. Rina says to surrender. Not entirely. Yes, Faith. Faith. Victoria.
I think it means to be unable to fight against the disease.
Okay, it just simply means to die of heart-related. When you succumb to a disease, that is the disease that kills you. So died of heart-related. Here directly we can call it died, you know, died of this. Resty says, yeah, to die. Yes, that is true. Yes, next one you have is mighty. That one should be very. Let us use our chat meaningfully by typing answers. Then I can go there and even read them. Yes, Irene, mighty means what? Yes, in related to, that is, now I'm talking about mighty. What does mighty mean? Trina, what does mighty mean? Joanita, Kim. Mighty means important, powerful. Yes,
mighty means
yes.
great.
Great,
Mighty means
powerful.
great.
Yes, thank you so much. And all the others that I've shared in the chat, I've seen mighty means great, powerful, important. Another one, chagrined. What does chagrined mean? If you look at the way they say, what is to be charmed? Maybe before we look at chagrined, so that it gives us the opposite. If you look at here, that the grandchildren were charmed while we, his children, were chagrined by it, being more concerned about his health. So what does chagrined mean? Doctor. Dr. chagrined, what does chagrined, what does chagrined mean? Doctor?
Teacher, I don't know the meaning. I was saying the meaning of the mighty.
Okay, dear, thank you. Chagrined, who can help us? Very fast, John. John? Tyra? Tyra?
Yes, teacher.
What does chagrined in this passage mean?
I think it means like not happy over something, or when you're angry with what someone is doing.
If you're not happy, that means you are?
Chagrined.
You know, another word, don't give, I don't want it to be negative, but instead I want you to use words like, for example, they were upset or hurt or
angry.
Yes, angry, you know. Those would be all alternatives. Thank you. So chagrined there means they were not happy, they were hurt, they were upset, they were disappointed, you know, all those could help there. Humiliated, no, not really humiliated. At this point, they are concerned about the health, so they are just not happy. They are upset with him, or they're sad at such a decision. Okay. Now, when you're giving the meaning, give the meaning. Most of you were copying and pasting from your friends, or I could really see that you Googled the meaning here and there. Stop using Google sometimes to answer these questions of passages, because we want the meaning according to the passage, not directly the dictionary meaning always, but the implied meaning. Let us run very fast. Change the following phrases to show possession in a shorter way. I only wanted you to be able to apply here the possessive apostrophes. So those who can come in and help us very fast. I can have one person do that for us because of time. JB. JB.
Yes, sir.
Very fast, help us with this number.
Yeah, which number?
Change the following phrases to show possession in a shorter way. The tail of the lion.
Like,
Pardon?
like, sir, I don't really know how I'm going to do this. Like, I don't know what this instruction really means.
My goodness. Are you sure? Let me bring someone to help you. There should be Louis. Anne, are you there? Anne Louis, are you there?
Teacher.
Yes. Yes, Tyra.
Shall we missed crisscrossed?
We missed crisscross. What does it mean? Very fast.
I'm not sure the meaning, but I think it is to cross paths, like passing around something.
No. Look at this. Let's read this. Papa was a man of adventure early in life. He was a lay reader in the Anglican Church. He later moved into the medical sector and crisscrossed Tesoland with his family. To crisscross, we are talking about moving from one place to another, but within Teso. Are we together? So
Yes.
he moved from one part of Tesoland to the other because he moved from different sectors. He moved to different sectors and also moved within the different sectors. So that's the thing. To crisscross here means moved from place to place. Okay, we are done with that. Now let's look at, help us very fast on this other one. To change the following phrases to possession, to show possession.
Number
which
one.
Yes.
Number one, it's the lion's tail.
JB, are you hearing? The lion's tail. Number two?
Cliff's dog.
Cliff's dog, thank you.
Number three is my mother's hat.
Mother's hat. Okay, my mother's hat, true.
Number four is Evan's book.
Evan's book. The apostrophe comes between yes. Evan, the ace, that apostrophe. Where do you place the apostrophe?
After S.
Okay, that is if there are many. What about if it's one?
If it's one, it's before S. But since
Okay.
Evans ends with S,
yes,
the apostrophe is after S. Number five,
okay.
It's the child's sport. Yes.
Next. Oh, yes, I think we are done with that.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, the rest of the work I felt it was okay. Most of you passed it. However, number 6 is where some of you failed. Why? You did not separate. You're supposed to put aside, you're supposed to write for me pronoun, and then the other side, you put for me verb. For example, I is a pronoun, you is a pronoun, we is a pronoun, they is a pronoun. Now, what are the verbs? Will, would, or rather should, are, then is. So those were the verbs. But I needed you to separate them. Write a subtitle pronoun, then you draw a line, then you write the other side noun, verb, then you draw a line. So, but most of you passed them. Okay, thank you so much for those who have attended this lesson. Let us move to the next lesson. Okay, teacher, thank you for teaching us. May God bless you. I love you so much. Okay, we love you too. Okay, the rest are just comments. Thank you for attending. Let's prepare for the next. All right, bye. Mr. Toto, are you there?
Yeah, yes, please. Thank you so much for teaching these people. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.